Well, welcome back to Life on Cars. Hope you're all well. And in this video today, we are continuing with sorting out some electrical faults on my MR2 in the driver's side door. So come on, let's get into it. Let's see what's going on and see if we can find the faults that are causing my issues electrically on my lovely Mark II MR2. Let's go. Alright, so if you want to know how to get the door card off, check out the playlist for the MR2 because we did do a video on removing the door card just recently. So to get into this now, I need to remove this plastic barrier. This is a weather shield which is fitted with like a horrible black sticky gooey stuff which we'll need to kind of peel away so we can get in. But my initial thoughts on these faults, so I've got a central locking fault where the key only locks the passenger door. It doesn't unlock the passenger door. So I've also got a problem with the door light. So the door light is not working and the bulb's fine. And the switch on the side of the door is working because it turns the light on and off on the other door. So I don't know whether the two are linked. One of the things that it's worth checking with systems like this is to make sure there's no broken wires. Now the weak spot is where the harness goes through the door. Let me bring you in and show you. So yeah, you can see this rubber boot here, and this is where the cables come through from the fuse box through the A pillar and then into the door. And obviously when the door's closing, opening, closing, opening, what can happen over many years is that the wires in here can break, they can snap, and I need to rule that out before I go any further, because it could be that I'm lucky, find a couple of broken wires in here, and that basically cures all my problems. So I've got to rule it out. So I need to disconnect this harness, get my hand into the speaker hole here, and see if we can check that there's nothing going on with the wires in here. So I'm going to get into that first. Now, in order to get to the harness and get it released, it does go through into the fuse box, which is just in the kick panel. So to get to that, I am going to have to take this trim off. So these kick panels are held on by poppers all the way along, but also I will need to release a couple of screws in the actual kick panel there. So I'll just show you where those are. So there is a little plastic screw there which I need to take off, and then where this bonnet release cable is, there is a couple of screws. Let's get the light in. There they are. I'll need to take them out as well so that I can release this bonnet cable from this kick panel, and then we'll be able to get into the fuse area and we should be able to disconnect the cable that goes through into the door. It's worth doing this because I've got to rule it out. There's no point in chasing my tail until I'm happy that there's no broken wires in that rubber boot. Two. And then the plastic thing off. There we are. Right. So that's all loose now. I'm just going to carefully pop my fingers along here and release this trim. There we are. I think there's one more under there. Ooh, there we are. Okay. You can see, yeah, we're all just on little poppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they just all pop into these little holes along the sill. So we can set that to one side now, out of the way. So now that that's off, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this bolt out here just to get this bracket out of the way. Because what I want to do is I need to start to see if I can move some of this cabling out of the way, just to see where that rubber boot comes through, just to see how it's connected. So I'm going to take that off. I'm also going to take that bolt out there, which will loosen off all this fuse box, so I can pull it forward and just see where that wiring harness comes through. If memory serves me correctly, it plugs in at the back of here somewhere. Once I've got it disconnected, I'll then be able to pull the whole wiring harness through into the door and then out of this hole where the speaker was, so I can have a proper look at it with a bit of luck. So that's the plan. So let's see where we get to with this. Alright, so I've got that fuse box loose. I can move that out of the way now, and I can see now that this is the actual harness that's going into the door. So it comes through, down, and into these two plugs here. So what I'm going to have to do is disconnect these bottom plugs. There's one out. I need to get the bottom one out. And then release this clip here, and then I should be able to feed all this back through and out of there, so we can have a proper look at it and just make sure there's no broken wires. Alright, I'm cracking out the big guns now. Got the multimeter out. We're going to do a continuity test to see if there's a break between this wire. So it looks like we've got a red wire and a red with a white tracer. And it looks like that cable goes all the way to the same plug that has the green on it. So see that wire there? I think that's the red one there, and there's the red with a white tracer there. So I'm going to do a continuity test first and see if we've got continuity between those 2 points. So I've got my multimeter set on the audible setting, so basically it beeps when there is a circuit. So if I put these two probes together, it beeps. So let's do a test and see if we've got continuity. Right, so red wire. So I'm on the terminal there. Let's see if we've got a connection to here. Yes, we have. So we do have a connection from that cable all the way through there. So I know there isn't a break in that where the cable goes through the door, like I was talking about at the start of the video. Let's try the other wire. So this time I'm going on the red with a white tracer. Let's find the right one in here. Nothing. Okay, we've got no beep in there, so looks like we've got a break between here and the connector. So what I need to do now is I need to do it in stages and try and roll the bits out. So obviously there's a length of cable between here in the door, which we need to rule out. So maybe we do have a break in that rubber boot. Alright, so there's our little red with a white wire there. And I've just tested that from the cable down here. So that, and it's got continuity, so it basically we know that both of those wires are fine to here, and from there it goes down into the harness through here. So it's looking very likely that I've probably got a break in this wobbly bit here. So I think I'm going to go ahead now and pull all this out and see if we can find out where the break is in the cable. So I've got these two wires disconnected, so we just need to see if we can pull this grommet out now and pull them through so we can have a closer inspection. Okay, it's coming. Yeah. I'm probably going to need to feed the other end into the door so I get some movement. There we are, look. Come on, come to Papa. Nearly there, guys. Just there's the connectors. There we are. There's one. And there's the second one. Get out. There we are. Right. I need to have a close inspection of this now. But my money is on a broken wire in this boot somewhere. Alright, what I've done is I've just fed it right through into the door and then out through this hole where the speaker was, so we can have a close look. But what I need to do now is to trace the red and white wire, which is that one, and find out where there's a break, because there's definitely a break in that wire somewhere in this loom, and my guess would be in this bit here that bends forward and backwards like that when you open and close the door. So let's see if we can get inside here and find the dodgy wire. So I'm going to just slide the boot back and see what we can see. Oh, found it already. There we are, look. Snapped. Where's the other end? You can see, look, see what's happened on that. Starting to happen on that blue one, look, as well. It's fractured through the casing, but that one hasn't snapped. But that one, there's my door light problem. We've got a broken wire in this boot. Where's the other end? Come on, slide down there, show me where you're hiding. Where's the other end? Can't see it yet. It must be caught up in there. There we are, guys. I've got it through. So there we are. There's the problem for the interior light. A snapped wire in the little rubber boot that goes between the door and the A-pillar. So that should just be a case of resoldering that up. So let's do a cheeky test. Let's bare the ends off there and join them together and see if the light comes on. We know it's going to, don't we? Plug the light back in. Let's see if it comes on when I join these two cables together. So I'm going to plug it back in for test purposes and then join those two cables back together. Here we go. Yay! Excellent. All right, let's get it repaired. I decided to cut the bad bit out because there was a bit of oxidization on the wire, so I've cut a piece out and I'm going to solder a new piece across here. So we'll get that done. Alright, there's my new wire soldered in. Get some insulation tape on that. Right, I'm going to pull the boot back over now and secure it. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape around the end here just to hold that in place. What I'm going to do about this corroded terminal then, so I'm going to just carefully lift this, raise this locking tab on the connector. And then I'm just going to go in there and release the locking mechanism for the wire, and it should come out. Yeah. So what we need to do now is just to give that a bit of a clean up. Maybe just use this spike in tool here. I'm just going to flick that little bit of surface corrosion off, and so we've got some nice bare metal there on the end of the connector. It's just got a slight layer of oxidization on the terminal, so just going to carefully clean that off. And I've just done the same at the other end, so I've just extracted this one from the block, and we'll give that one a little, not too bad, does it? It's mainly that side, just wants a little shine up. And then we'll pop it back in. I think I've just caught that in time. It was just starting to, must have got some damp in there at some point. Anyway, give it a little rub over with a bit of fine sandpaper. Right, there we are. I've given that terminal a bit of a clean over. You can see the nice bare metal on it. So we'll get that put back in a connector block and start to feed it all back together now. Press the locking tab back down. There we are. Right, time to feed this all back through the door. Well, let me bring you in and show you where we've got to so far. Looks like we've cured 1 out of 2 faults. So let's have a quick look. So I've got all the rubber boot and the harness and everything put back through. I've put all the trim back on where it goes behind the fuse box, because I'm happy now that there's no breaks in any wires that go through there. And look, we've got our working dome light now, or door light, whatever you want to call it, the one that goes in the door, same as the other side. You can see that one over there working. So yeah, happy with that. Got one fault fixed, but the next job for the next video is to dig into the central locking. I've got a suspicion that it is the door lock solenoid, because we've already ruled out that all the wires and everything that come through into these 2 connectors here. I've already done a bit of diagnosis that I'm going to cover off on the next video, but it looks like, unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to track down a door lock solenoid, because I think that's what's causing the problems. But anyway, success for the light so far. Well, there you go then. I hope you enjoyed that one, and we managed to get to the bottom of one of the faults. So I've got the light working in the door, and it was a broken wire going through the wobbly boot as you saw there on the video, and I've ruled out any other broken wires in there now, so that means I'm narrowing down my search for the next fault, which is the central locking, the reason why the central locking is not working properly. So you'll join me on a future video where I get into that and see if I can solve that problem. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed the video, if you got something out of it, if you're an MR2 owner, give us a like and a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, check out the playlist as well. That's going to be really useful if you're a Mark II MR2 owner. There might be something in there that you find interesting, or any of the other videos on life on cars as well. So take care, safe driving, and I'll see you all again very soon with something else on life on cars. Bye bye now. Bye bye.